Wow! Welcome to our Peak Design Travel Duffelpack 65-liter review. You work in the forestry department, you need a logger. Maybe you're going on a big-ass road trip and you just want to throw all your in there. I'm not sure why you have so much gear, but if you need a big-ass duffel pack to haul that gear around with, this guy's a viable option. Okay, we're gonna kick off this review by talking about the overall gist of the Peak Design Duffelpack 65-liter. Like I said, it's a big boy. It's 45 liters that can expand on the bottom to get you to 65 liters. But you're probably thinking to yourself, Aaron, can it fit a 5'8" human being? It can. It's a duffel backpack hybrid. That means that it can be carried as so, but also when you want to go into backpack mode, just go ahead and loosen the straps a bit, backpack mode. But is backpack mode as comfortable as some of the other duffel/backpack hybrids that we reviewed? Like with most Peak Design products, we have their thoughtful engineering and premium sort of like storage solutions. Like right here, we got this magnetic compartment where you can just go ahead and pivot these waist straps right in. And then if you want to actually get rid of the backpack shoulder straps, you can go ahead, pop them in there as well. Do one of those, less drag, more of a seamless travel experience. But one super interesting thing to note about the Peak Design Travel Duffelpack 65-liter, there's no shoulder strap. Right, so when you stow away the actual backpack straps, which actually contain the handles, right? So if you stow these, there's no backpack straps, there's no handle, and there's no shoulder strap. We assume it's just because this thing is so massive, it might not be carryable in shoulder duffel style. You might end up dislocating your shoulder, but I still feel like I would have liked to have had the option. Maybe Peak Design knows something I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is this too big for shoulder duffel style? Let me know below. And like I said, this thing is huge. Like the main compartment, just a big old throw all. That's what you want from a duffel, right? You don't want them to overcomplicate it. The actual opening is nice and big so you can really get inside, see what you packed. But it's not overly minimalist. We also got some internal organization. We got some mesh pockets on the inside. We also got some pockets on the outside. How many, you might ask? Well, keep watching and you'll find out. If you know anything about Peak Design too, you gotta know they don't cut any corners when it comes to the materials. Whether we're talking about these super chunky, weather resistant, number 10 Ultra Zip zippers, fully recycled materials, and then a highly durable and weather-resistant 600D nylon on the top and a 900D nylon on the bottom. And if the 65 liters capacity isn't enough for you, you got more gear. Peak Design also includes their external lash points, allowing you to carry things externally as well. But real fast, before we jump into the meat and potatoes, my name is Aaron. The guy behind the camera is Tab. We are Nomads Nation. We do duffel reviews, backpack reviews, sling reviews, things that carry other things. And you should just totally subscribe to our channel. Back to the review. We're gonna start by talking about the outside of the Peak Design Travel Duffelpack 65-liter monster. So we'll start with the bottom. Like I said, this is a 900D nylon, highly weather resistant. You want the bottom of a duffel to be more durable, right? Because it's getting all the wear and tear. We got Peak Design's signature leather tab right here. The leather tab is only available in the green version. There's also a black version. So notice right here, this is either the bottom of the duffel or the back of the backpack, right? If you're wearing it in backpack mode. That's why we have these lash points here. You have the external lashes, right? You go ahead, you pop these in until it pops, one on either side, boom. Carry stuff on the outside, and I think it adds a nice little aesthetic. What do you think, Tav? Little X. Now you see these zips right here and you're like, Aaron, what are those? And I'm like, remember that whole expansion thing we talked about? From 45 to 65 liters. When you're in 65-liter mode, I mean, it really opens up. Moving on, we got handles, 4 handles, one on every corner. These handles are really well padded, which is great because this is obviously gonna be heavy as you're carrying all your gear, so it adds a more comfortable carrying experience. More external lash points right here, right? So if you're in duffel mode, you wanna carry something on the side, yet again, we use the yoga mat example. Now on either side of the duffel, we have external pockets. These are weatherproof zips. Nice, smooth. Peak Design makes their own zippers in-house. They're called Ultra Zips, very durable and very smooth zip to them. And both pockets are the exact same, just a big old pocket. No additional organization, no pockets within pockets. This is gonna be good for stuff that you want just a little bit quicker access to. Like I said, one on either side. And then on this side, we have a little hidden card holder, little Velcro to keep it secure. And you can keep like a little ID card in there, right, in case you lose your duffel. Now, the last part on the outside of the duffel is to sort of talk about the entire carrying experience. And this is probably the most important part of the review because we got a lot of interesting stuff going on here. So as you can see right now, the backpack shoulder straps are stowed away. And that means that there's no way to carry it as a backpack, and we can't hold the actual hand duffel straps because those are on the backpack shoulder straps. We got these enclosed with a really strong magnet. I just really like the click of that magnet. It's a satisfying click, isn't it, Tav?
Oh, so nice.
Almost as satisfying of a click as you clicking the like button on the video.
Shower.
So we will pop out both the straps and voila. Now this is interesting. We reviewed a lot of duffels, but I've never seen the actual handles on the backpack straps. But I think that it works, although there's a little bit of weirdness with it. Real fast, let's talk about the handles. It has a jelly feel to it. It's just gonna be a super comfortable carrying experience. But the thing to know about when you're carrying it in duffel hand mode is that you gotta tighten the actual backpack straps. Because otherwise the handles are on this side, but when it is tightened, then you have a more balanced carrying experience. But with that, you got a little bit of extra dangle going on, right? So we've tightened it up and you got this kind of flapping around a little bit. I'm not crazy about that. So to go into backpack mode, you're gonna wanna loosen these straps a little bit, and now we have a more tidy, sort of a nylon band situation there. Peak Design gave you these nifty little tabs right there, so you just lift up. Oof, it's nice and seamless. Love Peak Design's in-house hardware. This is some sort of metal or aluminum, feels very premium. We'll leave the waist straps in there and just pop it on as a backpack. Sans waist straps. Peak Design backpacks are always super comfortable. It's the right mix of comfort and density. The density of the padding is on point. Peak Design also utilizes their sternum strap. It's a clip system, so you just go ahead and unclip, sling it around, pop right into there. Easy to loosen and or tighten. Sternum straps are really important, especially on a pack of this size, right? 65 liters, lots of heavy gear, a lot of pressure on your back. This sternum strap will help redistribute some of the weight from your back to your torso. But if you do not want the sternum strap, you can just pop it right off, say, "Be gone, sternum strap." But you know what else is great for taking some weight off your back? Waist straps. And then to get the actual waist straps out, you just undo the magnet, right? And you just slide it. I love this little rotate system, right? It's a very seamless experience to go from waist straps away to waist straps in use. The waist straps themselves also sort of that perfect mixture between comfort yet dense. Now for some people, you're thinking 65-liter backpack. These aren't the most padded waist straps in the world, and we kind of agree. These are a bit smaller, but you think about the trade-off, right? First of all, these waist straps are non-removable. They're a part of the pack. So with bulkier waist straps equals heavier carrying experience. So I think Peak Design tried to sort of make a middle ground, best of both worlds, where they're not too bulky, not too heavy, but still give you that little bit extra support and padding. And then on one of the waist straps, we have these guys right here, which is for the Peak Design, what is it called, Tav?
Capture clips, I think.
Capture clips, that's what it is. So if you are a photographer, camera person, like our camera wizard Tav here, and you have Peak Design's capture clips, you clip it on, good to go. And the last part to talk about with the outside of the Peak Design Travel Duffelpack is the actual main zip to get into the main compartment. This is what uses those chunky, durable, Ultra Zip number 10 zippers, waterproof lining, 2 zips. One really cool thing about Peak Design zippers is that they have an anti-theft mechanism where you can go ahead and lock them into each other. A little extra security there. Inside of the Peak Design Travel Duffelpack 65 liter. As you can see with the main compartment, it's just monster capacity. And a quick note, if you use Peak Design's camera cubes, they are designed to fit perfectly inside this compartment. So you can see on either side, we have the same setup, a zip that gets you into 2 mesh-like pockets. Looks like mesh, not mesh though. It's actually plastic with holes cut into it. Real fast about the zip, we just noticed this, super subtle, but Peak Design adds reflective materials on this zip just to kind of give you a little extra sight on this area in case it's dark. Nice touch, PD. Like I said, we got the bigger pocket here, smaller pocket here. Because it's not actually mesh and it's just plastic, there's no elasticity to this material, but there's still a decent amount of expansion, so it's not just like a tight, flush pocket. You might be able to fit semi-bulkier bits of gear in these compartments. And then as mentioned, the pocket system on this side is reflected on that side. Big fan of Peak Design's interior materials they use here. They feel rugged, they feel durable, and I love the color selection. So the gray material helps to create a highlight effect that makes it easier to find your stuff when it's in there. And then on the inside, we got a few things. We've got some lash points right here. You can clip things onto it or connect the camera cubes to it. And then one cool little feature is you got these guys right here, and you're thinking to yourself, hey, Aaron, what does this do? I will show you. So what you can do is take this zip, and there is a little, see that little hole right there? Pop the zip on through. Takes a little finagling going on, right? Like that. And then what you do is you actually clip the zipper head onto this thing. Extra security mechanism, right? Passport is in here and someone just like wants to play around. Oh, guess what? They ain't getting nowhere. Where are you getting? Nowhere. This is a fantastic example of Peak Design's just super thoughtful engineering. They really go the extra mile with all these little things, and that's why like using Peak Design products is such a joy. If you like those little touches that just kind of give you a little extra sense of value from your Peak Design purchases, then you're gonna love this guy. And one final note just about the actual duffel capacity is like some duffels have like a tendency where they might like stop here and here, right? Limited access into the main compartment. Not this, look at that. It's like a carp, right? It's a type of fish in case you didn't know. But you can really get inside the duffel. There's no limited access. It really opens up. It like has like a split right here. So this is great because you're gonna have a lot of gear in there. There's no real internal organization. That's a part of the duffel experience, but that access is just really nice to have for a duffel of this size. Okay, let's talk about the overall pros and the cons of the Peak Design Travel Duffelpack 65. That's a mouthful. Although this is a monster duffel slash backpack, it's actually kind of sleek and slim, like it's not too bulky. Take into consideration, right? This is another backpack we reviewed recently. This is the Nomadic Navigator, 32 liters. It can expand to 41, but still like this is big and bulky and it's 10 liters smaller versus this guy, you know, once it's packed out, obviously it will be bulkier, but it just has a little bit more of like a seamless, thinner, slimmer, not so bulky look to it. And that's great when you're traveling. Pro number 2 is just going to be that big old access to the main compartment. And pro number 3 is just going to be Peak Design's subtle little touches. Whether it's the really satisfying magnets that hide the shoulder straps, the little pull tab to loosen the shoulder straps, the little rotation divot system, the security feature for the outside zipper, they just have these little touches, and the little touches go a long way. But on the flip side, let's talk about some of the cons of this guy. Con number 1 is just the lack of a shoulder strap. Sure, it might dislocate my neck, but I just wish that I had the option. Con number 2 is while I do appreciate simplicity when it comes to a duffel, I wish that one of these external pockets just had a little bit of interior organization within the pocket, right? And con number 3 is we do have a little bit of an excess dangle situation when you're carrying this thing in duffel mode. So if you're thinking to yourself, dude, I got some gear that I need to haul, I'm gonna buy this thing, then we do ask that you use the first link in the description right below. That link just makes sure that you get the best price, and it also helps to support our Nomads Nation YouTube channel. Thank you. But if you're not quite sold yet and you want some alternative duffel recommendations, I got you. Alternative number 1, if you're like, dude, I want a Peak Design Travel Duffel, but this is a bit too big for me, don't worry, they have a smaller version, pretty similar, Peak Design Travel Duffel. Take a look in the description to find a link to that full review. Alternative number 2, if you're super into duffel that goes into backpack mode, but you want something a bit more comfortable, check out our description below of the Monarc Duffel. It's a duffel that can convert into a backpack, but it just has a really well padded and well ventilated back panel, making it a more comfortable backpack experience. And then the alternative number 3, if you're like, dude, I really need a duffel to travel with, but I actually just want to be in duffel mode. I don't need it to go into backpack mode. take a look below. You'll find a link to our review of the Packed One Duffel. Amazing travel duffel, and it's not a backpack hybrid, just a duffel. Okay, thank you so much for watching our Peak Design Travel Duffelpack 65-liter review. If you're still here, it hopefully means that you found this review useful. And if that's the case, the best way to just show some love and support to our YouTube channel is just to hit the like button. Or let us know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the travel duffel? Do you need 65 liters? I mean, that's a lot of gear. Do you also wish that it maybe just had a little bit more organization? And also, if you own this or any other duffels, please let us know what your experience has been so far. Your comments help to make this channel and just kind of the internet as a whole a more educated place. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.